What is up? Welcome to That Was Wild. I'm Adam Macias, and this is That Was Wild, where we bring your wildest stories to life. And this is gonna be wild. This is also the first episode of That Was Wild. This one I'm really excited about. It's a very special story from a very special friend, Katie Stone. She's an amazing storyteller, TikToker, comedian, writer. And she is telling me a very cool story about almost being kidnapped overseas. It's truly nuts. She told it at one of our live shows, and I was like, hey, we weren't recording that. Please come in the studio. Let's chat about it. And I think you guys are going to really enjoy this for the first episode. A little bit about That Was Wild. You're going to see two different kind of versions of the show. One where I interview an influencer, comedian, funny person, just person I met that I kind of sit down and have a one-on-one conversation with. And dropping today, along with this episode, you're going to see another version of the show, which is just a live stream of me talking to strangers on the internet. So that's going to be episode 2 right after this one. I love stories. I love talking to people about their lives because I believe that everybody has a crazy story. This episode is going to be like, I had no idea this person went through this. And we all have those experiences of like, wow, that was wild. We experienced that. We survived it. And now we're here to tell a story about it. And I feel like we all have that. So this is a perfect example of that. So before we get on with the show, just some housekeeping. Please like and subscribe. This is the first episode, so please share with a friend. And if you have your own wild story, you can email me at thatwaswildpod@gmail.com, or you can leave a message at our phone number right here in the, if you go into the show description right there, you can call that number, leave a message, and we'll play it on this show. I am dying to hear it. So without further ado, here is the first episode of That Was Wild.
That's wild.
It's time to get wild.
This guy's a wild card.
Wildly impressive to watch.
That was wild. Today's guest. You've seen her name above reductress articles about rockabilly dresses and having sex with the Tin Man. And you've definitely seen her TikTok videos telling the truth about Pete Davidson and Princess Diana. It's Katie Stone.
Hi, thank you so much.
Yes.
What an excellent selection. That was a summary of my personal brand.
You do so many great things, Katie. Those are the ones that really popped out to me for sure.
Thrilled to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show. So just a brief backstory. We barely know each other.
Right.
You did the live show. Check it out if you guys wanted to. It's an improv show. You spontaneously told a story and I was like, holy crap, this is why I do this show. It's a story about you jet setting to Morocco.
Yes.
Where you like to jet set. But before we get into that, so I am a big fan of your TikTok videos. You do a lot of pop culture things like that. How did you get into doing that? Like, is that just something you were doing, or like everybody else, quarantine just kind of inspired you to do stuff?
I would say, definitely quarantine layered on with the fact that I moved to LA 1 month before quarantine started.
Wow, geez.
So
just in time.
Exactly.
You just got there right then.
Yeah, so like while my friends, I think, I also, it took me longer to get back to live performance because I had to kind of start from ground zero when the restrictions lifted. So.
Yeah. Where did you start in comedy?
I started in Austin. I performed in Austin for like 7 or 8 years.
Doing improv, sketch, stand-up?
All of the above.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I did stand up hardest for a while, and then I kind of realized I have a soft little baby heart, and I started doing more improv.
That's the case. If improvisers are just stand-ups with like little baby hearts.
Yeah, I was like, I want teamwork and somebody to be in charge.
Yeah.
I want HR.
So you started in Austin. What made you decide to move to LA?
My boyfriend is an actor.
An actor.
I know.
That's a double actor.
I know, but like I'm a performer, but I'm not like.
An
and
actor.
Today I was on set for 12 hours.
Oh, really?
He's
And he's from England.
Yeah, he is from Texas, and right now he is in New Orleans filming his first major motion picture. So
Heck yeah.
he had kind of like grown out of the Austin acting market, and then I was graduating grad school right as he was starting to think about moving out here, and I was like, you know what? I'm about to start a whole new career.
Yeah.
Why don't we do our 30s in Los Angeles?
I love it. That's awesome. Had you guys been living together before you moved?
No.
Okay, so quarantine, first time living
First
together.
time.
And you guys are still together.
We're still together.
Congrats!
We've been together. Thank you. We've been together for 3 years. We do both like our personal. I don't know how you feel because how long have you been married?
We've been married. So we were not even a year into our marriage when the quarantine happened. So we just celebrated 3 years.
Well, and tell me how you feel about this because I feel like I was always somebody who's very avoidant of codependence. Like I like being an independent person.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen like the pitfalls of that in other people's relationships, and I feel like the quarantine really made me accept interdependence. Like I don't have to like be like I need space from you in order for us not to totally like suck the life out of each other.
Right.
I can be like I'm used to you being here every day, and we do certain things for each other.
Right.
But also I can survive without you.
I totally agree. Because I'm the same way. I'm like, before quarantine and everything shut down, my wife and I were incredibly independent.
Mm-hmm.
Like she worked 9 to 5. I would be out and about. I worked in various theaters. I was a live touring like engineer, a music engineer. So I would be all around all the places. And so being together was like, though I love being around her, I think there was a moment where like, wow, we're around each other a lot. And I'm the type of person that like, I love my personal space. I would come home sometimes and she just wouldn't be there all day. Like having her there during the day was like, whoa, what's going on? You know? And to me, it imagined as over time and we worked through all of our stuff, it was like, I used to have like this force field around me.
Mm-hmm.
And like her just kind of being around was like, all right, now this isn't just like me time. It's her and I time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like over time, my force field kind of like lowered. And I was like, yeah, you can be doing your own thing and I can still be independently over here.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to necessarily like dictate how I'm like compartmentalizing this moment or whatever, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. I'm actually glad because I was like, I've never really articulated that before, but you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, like you can be like doing this stuff over here and I could be doing this stuff over here, but that doesn't mean we're like doing stuff together sort of
Yeah.
thing.
You're having alone time together.
Yes. There it is. But so you started doing TikToks in this alone time together with your boyfriend.
Yes. Yes.
How did that go?
Honestly, it's so funny, like, because I literally put it on the internet for tens of thousands of people to see, but I don't think anyone I know watches it. And I'll like make TikToks alone in a room because I think it's so embarrassing that I'm a woman in my 30s who makes TikToks.
Oh,
that
yeah.
I'm just like,
likewise.
hide and I'll show you.
It's very
afterwards.
embarrassing. Yeah. All you TikTokers like out here TikToking and out in public. Wow. The confidence you have. It's crazy. I love best part about it is just like, I'm doing it in my room. No one else is in there. It's locked doors, that sort of thing. Yeah, totally agree. But I saw you downplay your stuff there. 10,000. You get hundreds of thousands of views on a few of your videos. What was it like getting, after, your alone time and doing it privately, realizing that, wow, a lot of people have seen this video?
It is good mostly. Okay.
Okay.
If you want some like legitimate, slightly vulnerable thoughts, and I'd honestly love to hear yours too, is like this year I had to change mental health medications for the first time in like 5 years.
Okay.
And I feel so lucky to like have like my mental health well managed, yes, and be able to do that and have all those resources. But it was reintroducing chaos to my life. And while I was strongly medicated, or like on the right cocktail, I was like, okay, this is great. I can handle negative comments. I can handle all of these strangers and things looking. And then I had to delete it for like a month when I was switching because I was like, oh, you really do. You get negative comments no matter what you post.
Oh my gosh.
The most innocuous shit. They'll just be like, you're like, if they can't think of something,
100%.
they'll just be like, your hair looks bad.
I feel so bad. So we do Daily Misinformer.
Yeah.
We have over 200,000 followers. Get all that stuff, and we have a few women on our crew. And I think I don't know. My comments are usually like bad beard. Okay. Like you caught me on like a midweek
bad beard day.
On a midweek here. Like I'm growing it back. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Although I got to tell you, the most hurtful comment I've ever gotten in terms of like, it felt really true, and and I was like, you got that from 90 Seconds? Because somebody goes, you seem like you're unpleasantly pedantic sometimes, and I was like,
that's not true. First off, but that's like something like that person was you just talked to a psychopath. That person was like crafty. He's like, what can I write that would like uniformly just fuck someone up? Like if you said that to anyone, that person probably if you were to Google that phrase or search that phrase in TikTok, it would be just that one guy saying it to various people. That's insane. What a fucked like.
Do you remember?
You talk to like the Jeffrey Dahmer of TikTok, pretty much.
I don't want to make you relive anything negative, but do you remember the comment that stuck with you the most?
You know what? Like I said, bad beard. I'm like, okay,
so stupid.
So stupid. Have you ever had a comment that was like, yeah, that's true? Like, yeah, you're right. There was one joke I was like super, super proud of for Daily Misinformer. It's actually very recent. And I was like, that is a good joke. And then I saw the performance. I was like, oh yeah, I stuttered. I wasn't like reading the teleprompter correctly. And somebody said like, yeah, this guy tries too hard. And I was like, yeah, you could see. Yeah, I was definitely trying hard. I was like really swinging for like beyond the fences for this one. And it just was like, yeah,
that's so good.
Yeah. So
I feel like half the people who are thriving on TikTok, you watch their videos and you're like, they're trying too hard.
Yeah, that's like kind of the thing.
Oh God, I almost deleted a video a couple days ago. Yeah. I posted this video that was like, this is a story about a time one of my friends like taught me a lesson about like not being negative. Sorry, it sounds less lame, I think, a little bit on TikTok, but I got two groups of people commenting on it. One was the Live, Laugh, Love girlies loved the vid. The popular girl from my high school shared it to her Instagram story.
That's amazing. Shout out to her. Hell yeah.
But then people who love to hate things found something to hate, which was my video about how you shouldn't hate things. And so then the people who were passionate about hating things came out to hate on my video. And that was very unpleasant. But there was one, sometimes though, they're so funny. Like one person was like, but what if hating things is the only thing that brings me joy?
They're the best. That's what honestly, TikTok comments are like, there's some fucking depressed motherfuckers out there. And I'm here for it. For sure. But so what was it like when you first like viral video happened? Or the one that like hit more than you expected for sure. What was it like? You're like turning your phone off, like, oh, ding, 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 or what?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I get very addicted.
I currently posted a sketch today and I am purposely not looking at it because I am I think if you look at it, then it won't go viral. That's how I go.
Well, and it is so random. Like sometimes it'll be like 3 hours later, you get your first view.
Yeah. I get so nervous in that time of like, it really is like, okay, all right. No, it's no. The algorithm's still figuring it out. And it's like, no, this is just bad. It was just bad. Okay. All right. No. Okay. Yeah, I got to talk myself down off this. But speaking of talking ourselves down, I have to talk ourselves down into a break because we're going to come back and hear from your story that involves a kidnapping? Attempted kidnapping. All right, we'll be right back right after this. All right, welcome back. Like I said, we just scrolled. We just spent like 20 minutes scrolling through our comments, pointing out all the true ones. So thank you for that. I learned a lot about myself. Did you learn a lot about yourself?
So much. I wish I hadn't.
But speaking about learning about yourself, we're going to hear a story today that involved you traveling.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Sure. Yeah, so when I was a junior in college, I did the year abroad thing, but I am just a middle class girly, so I didn't have the money to come home for Christmas. I just had to be out there. And I was in Germany, and in Europe you can take Ryanair flights. I mean, at the time it was like 20 euros to get anywhere you wanted to go. So yeah, I flew to Morocco for Christmas because it was 20 euros. And
Morocco for Christmas. So that's just already like who are you? Who is this? Who is she? That's amazing. That's so like glamorous.
There's definitely a glamorous way to do it. We did couch surfing was big back then, which for anyone who's like a few years younger than us and was spared of this, it's basically like free Airbnb. So it's as safe as free Airbnb would be. Like you read a lot of reviews, but you still just roll the dice and show up.
Yes.
And you sleep on a stranger's couch. So on Christmas Day proper, we were in Marrakesh.
Who were you traveling with?
Okay, I was traveling with a friend of mine who had gone to who was like at the same undergrad school as me, but she was studying abroad in Berlin, and I was studying abroad in like a small college town. Okay. So we decided to travel together, even though we didn't know each other very well. It had its ups and downs. We became very close after these trips.
I'm sure.
She had a lot more money than me.
Oh.
But that put her a little out of touch with money. And thus she would do things like, of course, I didn't bring my cell phone. Traveling charges are so high. Like, and I was like, so I have to use my, like, what was your backup plan besides for both of us to use my cell phone the whole time?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think when I told this story live at your show, I said, she's a bit of a bitch. And then you guys use that a lot in the improv, which not in a hateful way. Don't come for Adam. It was very funny.
Thank you.
But yeah, so it was somebody who liked to take risks, but wasn't which is great. Great person to travel with.
Yes.
But not necessarily the warm, beating heart. So we traveled out into the desert one night to do the whole Bedouin camping in tents, riding on camels thing.
Okay.
And before we went out there, I was like reading about it, and we're couch surfing. It's free. It seems like it's like a higher risk activity than just going and enjoying the cities.
Right.
Because only tourists go out into the desert to sleep in these tents, like it's a clearer place for you to get conned. And I was telling her about this, and I was like, I think we should go to Fez instead, which is another like bigger cultural city in Morocco. And she was like, if you want to go to Fez, I'm just not going to travel with you.
Oh.
She basically gave me an ultimatum, like, you have to go into the desert with me. This is the only way to authentically experience Morocco,
Jesus.
Which, by the way, if anyone's thinking about going, did you know camels are not native to Morocco?
She just had no idea. She had this like idea of like what Morocco is, and that's what she wanted to hit, like the tropes.
Yeah, for sure. And she's like, we have to be educated travelers by doing the least educated thing you can do.
Okay. I know those types of people for sure. Like, don't you know that this is true? No, it's just not true. You read Twitter too much. That's your problem. Yeah.
Definitely somebody who probably started reading Twitter too much at some point.
You're in those comments. She's in our comments on TikTok.
She's
in
the
deep
who said
replies.
You're a little pedantic sometimes. I don't know. I'm being really hard on her because she did end up like at least trying harder to make it safe for us based on knowing that I kind of was anxious.
There's a middle ground.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
cool.
she started doing a lot of research into how to do it safely. She was like, okay, if she's heard that we're going to get conned, maybe we're going to get conned, does a bunch of research, finds all the safest places. So like she figures out the best bus to get us out there. Once we get there on the bus, where do we go to get the taxi that's going to carry us safely?
So this is like a journey. Like you're going, this is far just to go, go on the hump of a camel.
But we got there. She had like picked out the taxi stand that we knew wasn't going to be a scam. We go.
Wait, how did you know?
There's websites that are like, most of the taxis will try and scam you. This is where locals go to get a taxi.
I feel like that's what all of them say though, right? Like, no. All of them are bad. We're the good ones. How do you know?
I think it was the travelers saying, this is
there's
the good
like
one,
there's
not
like a
them
hobo
saying.
sign on it, like from like the 40s, like with the little craw, like
good taxis.
We'll give you food plus if work sort of thing. Okay.
Well, to give you an idea, okay, so actually when we got off the bus, before we even go anywhere, we saw other people getting scammed immediately. We saw someone.
You're like, you didn't check the site.
They didn't check the site. We saw a couple. It was like a Japanese couple. Everybody's speaking in English, even if they're not from America, because it's the lingua franca for everyone. So this Japanese couple goes up to a taxi, and the taxi's like, I don't remember what the numbers are, but it's basically like, $50 to get you where you're going. And they're like, oh, great deal. They put their suitcases in the back. They closed the trunk and they said, sorry, that's actually $500. So the suitcases are in the back. They have to decide whether to take the truck. And again, this is not how like people in Morocco behave. This is because we were in a tourist trap. Like we traveled into the mouth of the beast for sure.
Oh my gosh.
So that was all happening around us. And then we had to like walk a little bit. And then there was like a marked by the city taxi stand where all of the the taxis for the people who lived in the city were.
Right.
And so that's where we walked to.
Uh-huh.
And we got in one. And he was nice. And it was the rate it was supposed to be. And we were
Cool.
like, this is where we're going. And he's like, that's kind of far. It's this much. And we were like, yeah, that's the amount that we had read online this should roughly cost. And we start driving and we make it like 4 blocks. And then someone runs out in front of the car and stops the car and like gets us to roll the window down. And he's like, are you the couch surfers going to stay with Mohammed? And we were like, that is the most common name in the world. Do you have any proof that you know him? And he pulls out his phone and he's like, this Mohammed. And it's the same phone number that we have.
Right.
And he's like, we have this guy Philip. He's also staying with you. He's Polish. And we were like, that checks out. And so it's like this big Polish guy and us. And then there's 2 Swiss German tourists there. And he's like, come inside. He didn't want you to pay for a taxi. I'm going to drive you. Just come inside. We're going to like get in the car and we're going to go. And we were like, everything about this checks out.
Right.
And we're still walking distance from the taxi stand, so we'll get out of the car. And so we go in with him and we're like, okay, well, we're just going to call Mohammed to make sure that this is it.
Yeah.
And so we start calling him and it's not going through. And we realize that one of the guys is out on the balcony just dialing Mohammed's number over and over and over again so that it'll read as busy and we can't get through.
Wow. And how do you realize that?
It was like he was standing out on the balcony redialing a number over and over again.
Yeah.
And in that time, the other people were like, he's dialing his number. And then like guys started moving in front of the doors to block us from getting out.
So you were already in a location.
We had gone inside a house. Yeah.
Yeah. So you went into a house.
We shouldn't have gone into it. Listen, all of this is on me.
I definitely, that sounds like a little victim blaming, to be honest.
Okay, but I do want to, like, it's always like one of those annoying stories when a white woman is like, I have all the power in the world and I was wronged. It's like, no, I did act like a dumbass.
But they did have some very sophisticated, like
it was
lies.
a sophisticated scam.
Yeah,
they knew a lot.
So just to walk back a little bit. So you were in the car. This guy jumps out in front of it and he says, like, all these things check out.
Yeah.
You get out of the car.
Mm-hmm.
And then how far is the actual like building from this car?
We were right in front of the building. And it didn't look like a personal residence from outside. It was like a bigger like apartment building-y structure.
Wow. Okay. So you're realizing all this. It's starting to now click into place as these people are standing in front of doors.
Yes.
What is going on in your head at this point? That's it.
Well, you are every joke you've made. Obviously, I mean, this is not that long after Taken came out.
Yeah,
we're making
totally.
the joke the whole way there.
Oh, really? You're getting taken? Like, yeah, you're taking. Where's Liam Neeson?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Wait, so you were joking that you were like sarcastically being kidnapped while you were like traveling?
Well, yeah, we were just like, we have to be careful lest we get kidnapped.
Taken.
Obvious. Yeah.
And then it happened.
And then it happened.
Holy shit. So how many people were guarding the door?
It was just a couple big guys. Like there was just one guy in front of every door. So it's not like, and nobody had guns. Like it wasn't like we were like,
right.
It was just very clear that we
were trapped.
We're trapped. We're not supposed to leave. One person probably couldn't.
Yes.
Have made it out a door by themselves.
As you walk into this room, you told me before there was people in this room additionally, like you mentioned that big Polish guy.
Yeah.
And some Swedish people.
Yeah.
And what are their faces like? Have has it realized for them? They're like, like if I was them and I realized it before, like, if I had some time, it'd be like, get out, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So this is a good question because they definitely didn't realize anything was wrong
until you guys kicked in.
Yeah. So
they needed you.
Yeah. The whole thing, I think it was probably more of we'd probably put it more in the like scam category than violent crime category. So they sat us all together.
You never know,
alone.
though. You never know, to be fair, right?
It's true. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Obviously, when we were sitting there blocked in, we were like, it could be violent crime. But we don't know. We're from America. Anyone could have a gun. The fact that they didn't have guns is wild.
These Swedish people are like, what? They just have hands. Yeah. No, they could be, they have pockets. There's things in those pockets. You don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was Swiss Germans, and then the Polish guy, and then us. And I was sitting next to the Polish guy. So basically, we all spoke German except for the Polish guy, who I was like translating to by whispering. But they didn't realize we all spoke a language that they didn't speak. So they thought they'd be able to understand our conversation at all times. But we all spoke German. So we pretty quickly just started talking to each other in German, like, do you guys know these guys? Like, who knows these guys? Like,
which is so smart. So you guys were in danger, and then you quickly realize, like, oh, we have something. Mm-hmm. We have like an edge, is that we can all speak German to each other. Yeah. So how did that go?
Yeah, it was the Swiss Germans who had figured out the phone.
You seem very stressed out about this. Are we triggering anything? Okay, no.
I think what you're seeing is the iced coffee I had an hour ago starting to kick in. The Swiss Germans had figured out the phone thing, the balcony dialing.
Yes. Okay. And so we got a team effort here.
Yeah, they were like, we think this is happening, and we were like, we think this is happening.
How did you guys get out?
We basically set a plan. We started planning that we all should get up and run at the door at the same time. And we assessed that the Polish guy was roughly the same size as the guy at the door, and there didn't seem to be a gun. So we were like, okay, well, we can't make any.
Let me pause you. Are they scared? Is everybody kind of scared, or just like, they're like, fuck this? Like more indignant sort of situation?
We weren't like terrified. Like, okay. I guess, because also you're in another country.
This isn't like Saw. You're not like, you gotta go. There's our help. Like it's more of like, fuck. Is it? That's what I'm sensing. Like, fuck this.
Fuck this for sure.
I'm American. You do not trap me with no gun.
Okay.
I don't just get trapped without a gun.
If you're gonna trap me, at least have the respect to bring a gun.
What is this? Oh, may I please be excused? No. Fuck that. You don't have a gun.
Well, I think there is this endless, I mean, you've already heard me talking about it in a way, but it's like, there's this endless like cycle of like white guilt, or like, you're like, well, I shouldn't assume anybody's a criminal.
Right.
We're guests in this country. It could be normal to pull someone out of a taxi and bring them in for tea.
It's a different culture. I can see yourself questioning like, well, this is a different culture. What I've seen is, I get that.
And I think they did, I want to say they did serve us tea. And we were like, this is normal. Maybe not. Maybe they said
very lucky it wasn't drugged. Oh, very okay.
Maybe they were like, we're gonna serve you tea, and then there wasn't tea. But we were trying to be respectful, and then we're just basically like, oh, we were respectful into a bad.
It's like Silence of the Lambs. Like, oh, can you help me move my my couch into my? It's like that's what they do. They like expect you to be polite until a moment where they get you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened, right? So you guys rush the door.
Yeah, we planned in German to rush the door. I whispered to the Polish guy in English that he was going to be first. And I was like, when we say dry, we're going to run for the door. So,
Did you guys have like a special word? Or
no, he just counted in German.
The guys are like, I guess I don't know, maybe they're studying for something. I have no idea what they're doing. That's crazy. So you guys are out, bust out.
Yeah.
What happens next?
We got out. Again, we didn't go. We were only like 4 blocks from the taxi stand, so we weren't like isolated. So we started walking back. Now 5 of us. We're going to split the taxi.
You're walking back?
Yeah. It was broad daylight. All of this is happening at like 9:30 a.m.
Crazy. Wow. It's so early for a kidnapping.
So
you don't imagine
early.
it. So you just barely had time for coffee. That's
Absolutely.
crazy. So meandering back to the taxi is what I'm hearing.
And that we're now going to split 5 ways. So in a way, they did us a favor. And another
Friends
guy,
for life, yeah.
Another guy comes up to us and he's like, saw what happened back there. That looks crazy. And we were like, yeah, like we shouldn't have gone in that house. And he goes, it's so tragic how people will try and take advantage of you. You guys should come into my house. And so basically just people kept stopping us and trying to get us into theirs. And again, like,
you don't know.
That guy though, okay, it was just like a single young man. It was like,
no, yeah.
I'm not gonna come into your house.
How do you trust someone after that? You only trust them like if it's like a police officer, you know?
Yeah.
Speaking of that, like so you're clearly safe. You get to your destination, everything's fine.
After that guy asked us if we wanted to come into his home, we said no, and we literally got back in the same taxi. The guy had just driven back around, and he was like, "You guys were just about to get kidnapped for 15 minutes. Also, there's no way this taxi driver didn't know."
Yeah. But I bet you, that's who knows like what the okay, you play your game. Yeah, exactly. Wow, that is truly fucking wild. Thank you for telling me that story. I'm glad you're safe. I guess we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk to strangers about their traveling experiences.
Yes, let's
do it. Okay, we are back. We're doing this dang thing. We're going to talk to some strangers. You want to talk to some strangers?
Yes, let's do.
On Omegle.com, where you can talk to random people. They're not a sponsor yet. Hey, how's it going?
How are you? Do not skip me, brother. Do not skip me, okay?
I'm not trying to skip you.
Okay,
what's up?
Very good, brother. How are you, man?
I feel like I'm scared now. I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. My name is Orsic. I am from Russia. And
You're from Russia?
Yes, I'm from Russia. I'm from, the city called St. Petersburg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I am from there, When I tell people on Omegle I am from Russia, something come to their head, something bad. I just want to come here and tell you guys that I am not what you think of the typical Russian.
What do you? Okay.
Yes.
So you don't drink vodka?
I don't drink vodka, but I am a Muslim.
I'd love to hear some Russian. Can you speak some Russian to me?
We don't speak Russian, but we speak Dagestani. But
okay.
We are from Russia, but I don't speak,
I see. Oh, it sounds like you got a fire. You got a smoke alarm going off.
Oh, don't worry. It's probably some missiles being fired into Ukraine. It's no problem.
Wow, that's fucked up, dude. Where do you land? Where do you land on the war? You for or against?
And I am in between the middle,
Wait, how are you in the middle? How are you in the middle of being pro-war or not? What's the middle like?
I can understand why the Russian military are in Ukraine, right? And I am not 100% for it or against it.
Okay, well, that's crazy. You should probably be against it.
If you don't mind, can I ask you your point of view of the war?
I don't think Russia should have invaded into a sovereign country. That sounds pretty fucked up and not okay.
Why not?
And why shouldn't a country respect another country's borders? That's fucked.
You see, it's two different countries if you look at it.
Right.
But it's one people.
No.
One people.
No. They speak a different language.
Half of Ukraine is Russian.
They speak a different language.
They want to be part of Russia.
They pronounced words differently. Not half.
Yes, it's dialect. It's dialect. You see, in the south of America and the west of America, they pronounce words differently. It's completely normal.
They don't spell words differently.
No, you see, that is what you see. Look at England.
Well,
look at England. Look at America. They sometimes misspell words differently, and they speak the same.
But that doesn't mean England's going to come over here and take over our country. We're not the same people. Like you're just negating your own thing here, bud.
America earned its independence from England.
Words differently,
You have a great night, man. Here we go.
I can't believe we spoke with an agent of the Russian government.
I know. That was crazy. Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing good. I'm talking to people about a podcast right now. You're on a podcast. Can I talk to you about it? I'm with my friend Katie.
Man.
I'm with my friend Katie.
Hi.
And we're talking to people about their lives. Do you like to travel?
Yeah, I really love to. I've been to 15 countries. Yeah.
15, 1-5?
Yeah.
That's
15,
crazy.
yeah.
Wow. What was your favorite one?
Italy.
You liked Italy?
I loved
Okay.
it.
Yeah. What'd you like
Yeah, I
about
loved it. Because that's the place where I came from actually. So my family's come from Italy. I come from Italy to the
Oh.
States. So
Oh, nice. So you're Italian American.
yeah, I'm Italian American. Yeah.
That's cool, man. What's your favorite Italian dish?
Oh my God, my mom's pasta is one of the best. I can't even describe it. It's
Better
an
than
original.
pasta. Better than pasta in Italy.
She's doing that kind of Italian pasta, so it's the same. But
There you go. There you go. You get that good pasta then. Where do you fall on pineapple for pizza? Pro or against?
against, of course, man, I'm Italian, bro. How could you ask that?
I know. It's crazy.
Oh my
Katie, where do you fall?
God.
Where do you fall?
I don't want to disrespect his culture.
When I saw the fucking pineapple pizza, bro, it's just not. It's not pizza. It's not.
It's not. Have you ever had any crazy traveling experiences while you were traveling?
Yeah. I think I've had when when I was like 16, we had a European trip.
Okay.
That's why I've been to 15 countries. Yeah.
Oh, it was all one trip.
Yeah, it's all in one trip. Yeah, with train.
What happened?
Yeah, I got robbed. So
whoa, you got robbed? Where? In what country? We'll avoid it.
Yeah, in Germany. In Germany, Stuttgart.
Wow.
Oh wow. Was it like they approached you on the street, like, or did someone pickpocket you?
Approached me on the street like some Turkish guy.
Ooh.
A Turkish guy came up to you and just straight up like,
yeah,
give me your wallet, or what happened?
Yeah, put the knife to my stomach, and I was like, oh my God.
Holy shit, that's terrifying.
What the hell?
That's terrifying.
Yeah, I haven't experienced that kind of shit yet before that, so it was a terrible experience.
What did you do? You like talked to them? You like gave them your wallet, or did you have one of those?
I just basically threw my wallet on the floor, so and they just run with it.
Okay, they ran away.
Yeah, they fucking ran away. Yeah.
Were you alone?
No, I was with my friend.
Would they get robbed too?
Yeah.
Was it a double belly situation? Was he holding up two knives, or were you the only one with a knife to your belly?
Nah, he just threw it away just like I did. So.
Wow. Holy shit. Well, I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah. We were the last two of our group, so it was kind of a school trip, basically. So it was a summer program for Americans who want to travel through Europe, and of course, as an Italian, you
gotta do it. Yeah.
I gotta do it. Yeah.
Well, would you ever go back to Germany?
Depends on the place. Depends on the place.
Not where you got robbed.
I've experienced real great stuff in Munich. So.
Well, yeah. What did you experience?
We were there when that was kind of a beer festival, but not Oktoberfest. But
nice.
It was kind of a beer festival in a little town, and it was like, oh my God, the beers were unreal, bro. Like I haven't experienced that. I was like 18, so in Europe, I could drink, so
hell yeah,
it was pretty cool.
Hell yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, you have a great night. It's good chatting with you.
Bye. Good to talk to you.
Well, we did it. We talked to strangers.
Do we think that man had a speech impediment or was a liar?
I think he was lying. That was 100% a lie. He was
could
smiling
be both, but
the
it was
whole time.
Definitely liar.
That's true.
He sounded like he had a European accent. I was like, "You're an American Italian?"
He's like, I'm Italian. I was like, okay.
He also said
smiling.
his V's as W's, which is an overcorrection mistake Eastern Europeans make.
Oh, interesting. He was like practicing.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the Russian agent we spoke to. That was crazy. He was like baiting us. Like.
Also, I'm pretty sure Dagestan is an area that's always demanding freedom as well. I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
He said 50% of Ukrainians want it. That's nuts. I don't.
That's
truly
digesting 50% of the Russian media and 50% of the Ukrainian media.
Truly crazy. But speaking of crazy, thank you so much for telling me your wild stories today.
Thank you for having
me. Before we go, is there anything you want to plug?
Yeah, you can follow me at Katie Stone Makes on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter.
Heck yeah.
And find out what the hell I'm doing when this comes out. Say hi to future me. Tell her I said, what's up?
All right. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Why don't we, I guess we've got to figure out a sign off. We're figuring out a sign off. So why don't you look into the camera and say, just say, that was fucking wild.
That was fucking wild.
That's wild.
It's time to get wild.
This guy's a wild card.
Wildly impressive to watch.
That was wild.